My name is Gloria Brown. I worked at Church Home Hospital, and and before I worked there, they had in the where downstairs where the locker room was, they had a bathroom that had colored, and then they had a bathroom for the whites, and during that time, Church Home had white student nurses, and in the cafeteria, the nurses, student nurses sat where the doctors were, but the black people sat on the opposite side of the cafeteria, and we weren't allowed to socialize with any of the nurses or doctors.
My name is Eloise Stevens. So the most thing that I keep on my mind thinking about the fact that there was 2 bathrooms downtown when we would go downtown, the May Company and Hosha. 1 bathroom for the color and 1 for white. And I could remember one day my mother and I was come through there, and I want to go to the bathroom. The colored bathroom was overflowing, and I couldn't go in. And I'm crying, I gotta go to the bathroom. And this nice lady that stand there like with the towel draped over her arm, she was nice enough to let me go in the bathroom. And the difference in the bathroom, towel, napkins on the back of the toilet looked like somebody's house. But when you would go in the colored bathroom, all you had was 1 stall and the toilet.
My name is John Goins. I pretty much grew up in Baltimore my whole life. I'm 54 years old now. I mainly grew up in Sandtown. That's in the west side of Baltimore City. I attended all public schools, and later on went to CCB in Morgan. What sticks with me more than anything was the day that Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. And I can still remember exactly where we were at. We were sitting in my dining room, and my mother, along with my uncles and my other uncles, it was like the whole ceiling that came in, like all the hope and the faith that we had in Dr. King. It just all came to a sudden halt. And being young, but I could see the expression that my mother and Uncle faced when when Dr. King had passed, was assassinated. And I think that really gave me all the views that I later on had as far as what did it mean, how important Dr. King was to our people.
Beverly Cooper. I went to all black school up till the 9th grade, and then I graduated. I went to the white integrated schools, and it was hard. I was afraid because you heard so much about what was going on down south with black people, and I'd be like the only black person in the class. I was scared to talk to anybody or look at anybody. And then I remember when I would go to the shopping center and I would see somebody in my class and I'd speak to them and they'd turn their head, and you didn't know how to react.
I can relate back to in the 50s when my dad was in the Korean War. My dad was stationed at Fort Lewis, Washington, and we lived in Tacoma, Washington at 2404 Short Street. And I was the first African American to go to an all-white school in Tacoma, Washington. That might seem far-fetched or not real in the 50s, but during that time in Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida, they were raping our women and lynching our black men. And just think about that. That was all on the news then. But in Washington State, there was no media, no TV, there was nothing in the newspaper about me even going to that school. And that's, that's mind-boggling, that during that racist time, that how God had his hand on me my mother and our sister. Because where we lived at, we were the only blacks in that neighborhood, you know, and nobody ever bothered us. Never experienced any racism with any of the people. You know, that only could have come from God Almighty.
My name is Virginia Davis. I used to walk downtown, and into the market, and a lot of times the children would have to go to the bathroom, and I would try to go in some of the stores to, go to the bathroom, and they tell me no, they couldn't. I had to take them out and probably go in the back of the May Company in that little alley, or let them urinate on the curbs. And if you went in the stores to buy, if the person you were working for hadn't sent you, because they would send their maids down with notes, and they could buy, but you would go in there, and without that, and you'd be standing, and they'd just look at you, and they would never wait on you. And there would be like hustlers and hosters, stewards, and the May Company, and I can remember when we went to North Carolina, and most of the white people got seats, and we had to sit on our suitcases all the way down to North Carolina, all the way there. And if we drove to North Carolina and you were hungry and you would go to some of the restaurants and the little places that sold food, and you would have to go in the back. You couldn't buy it from in the front. You had to go in the back to get it.
For the young people, I would tell them to stay in school, get educated, and don't turn back. You have a goal, and keep on going ahead, getting your education, and because you are somebody. You are somebody.
Take a look at our black president, and you can do it. If he did it, anybody could. And I truly believe that. I told that to my grandkids, that, you can become the president one day. And I believe my grandson is going to become the president.
And I think right now a lot of us younger ones take for granted the black vote. However, my mom sat me down and explained to me how important it was. And she said, son, you can't complain if you don't vote. And that has stuck with me my entire life, and I pass it on to my sons and my daughters.
Get their education and keep the faith and trust in the Lord, and you can do whatever your heart desires.
We need an education. There's no doubt about that. But the most important thing is you must have a positive relationship with our Creator, our God, His Son Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit.
I would like for them to continue in school, because things have gotten different now. And if you don't have the schooling, and then when a boy grows up and don't have a job, how's he going to take care of a family? So stay in school and get your education.
I come here tonight and plead with you. Believe in yourself and believe that you're somebody. As I said to the group last night, nobody else can do this for us. No document can do this for us. No Lincolnian Emancipation Proclamation can do this for us. No Kennedonian or Johnsonian Civil Rights Bill can do this for us. If the Negro is to be free, he must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation.